There are stories you hear once, and you never forget. Not because they're full of monsters or ghosts, but because the real horror comes from people. Tonight, I'm going to share with you one of those stories. A story so disturbing that once you know it, you'll never sleep the same again. So, if you're brave enough, stay with me. I got this email a while ago, and I had a long back and forth with the person who wrote it. She begged to stay anonymous, so of course her name is changed. But the pain in her words was real, and when I read it, man, I couldn't shake it off. She started her story like this. I never told this to anyone, not even to my closest friends, because if I did, they would laugh. They'd call me crazy, or worse, they'd think I was lying. But I can't keep it anymore, so here it is. When she was just a teenager, her life already felt like hell. Her mother had passed away after a long illness. She never knew her father. He was gone before she was even born. So the only person she had left was her grandfather. And let me tell you, his house wasn't just a house. It was a stone house near the mountain. Damp walls, rotten wood, a roof half collapsed. You know the type of place where even silence feels loud. Her grandfather had throat cancer, so he couldn't talk right. He had a tracheotomy, and his voice came out metallic, like a broken speaker. He couldn't yell, he couldn't scream, but he had this old rusty cowbell. Whenever he needed her, he would ring it. That sound echoed through the entire house like some kind of death call. She hated him with every fiber of her being. And trust me, she had her reasons. One September afternoon, she was scrubbing the kitchen floor when she heard this horrible crash, wood splintering, something breaking. She ran to the living room and saw it. The floor had given way. Her grandfather had fallen through the rotten boards into the basement. He wasn't dead, not yet. One of his legs was bent the wrong way, his face twisted with pain. He tried to cover the hole in his throat to speak, but only groans came out. He was begging for help with his eyes. But she didn't help him. Instead, she dropped him a bottle of water, sometimes a piece of hard bread, and left him there. She built a new life in Madrid. New clothes, new accent, new everything. For years, she didn't even think about her grandfather's death. It was like a chapter she slammed shut. But here's where the story twists. Now, as an adult, sometimes she wakes up in the middle of the night, and there it is, that sound. Clang, clang, clang. The rusty cowbell, ringing just below her bed. She swears it's real. Now, before you judge her, listen to the last part of her email. This wasn't just some random act of cruelty. Her grandfather wasn't a poor, helpless old man. He was a monster. For years, he abused her, locked her in the basement with rats, hit her, humiliated her. And even worse, he touched her in ways no child should ever be touched, always whispering that no one would believe her if she spoke. He poisoned her childhood, and she believed he did the same to her mother too. So when he fell, she didn't see a broken old man. She saw her tormentor trapped in a hole. She saw a chance at justice, at freedom, and that's why she let him die. But trauma doesn't just vanish. Even after years of silence, she still hears it, that cowbell, echoing through her nights like a curse. A reminder that sometimes ghosts aren't from the afterlife, sometimes they're just the scars inside you, banging on the walls of your mind. This is one of those stories that stays with you long after reading, because it's not just about death or ghosts or revenge, it's about survival. About a little girl who grew up in hell and finally found a way out. Was it cruel? Yes. Was it justice? Maybe. But it was her story, and now it's ours too. So, next time you hear a bell ringing in the night, ask yourself, is it just the wind? Or is it the echo of something buried, something rotting, something that refuses to stay dead?